take them.
Please remember them at the end.
At the end.
Yeah.
Write them down or whatever, or even put them in the comments section. But we won't see it during the presentation.
Yes, put them in the comments and answer them at the end.
Of course. Yeah.
So I'll let you start.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the society. The first slide here is about the committee. So this has been the rundown. This is us. These are our pictures. Yeah, probably. Yeah, seen them on the Facebook page or whatever, stuff like that. Like we've just said, there's 2 more members in our committee, Anna and Deppy, who I'm sure you'll see in other events and things like that.
Yep. Just to point out, since we're starting off, a lot of these photos are from our events. So my photograph, my name is spelt wrong, but my photograph, that's one S, don't worry, it's fine. My photograph is from our annual ball, which we had in 2019. We actually had a boat cruise down the River Thames. That was great fun. Adam's, so in the middle, Adam's photograph is at Chernobyl.
Yeah, that's where we went last year as part of the annual trip, which we'll mention
our
later.
Annual trip abroad. And Deppy is also at the end. Deppy and Anna is actually in that photo.
Yeah.
They are also on the boat boat ball from last year.
So this is a rundown of what we do as a society. So us as the committee are people you can go to. We will help you with anything to do with the society, anything to do with your academic studies, socially. We can also direct you to anyone in the department that you might need for help or anything like that. We've got Harvey with us here today, who's the welfare officer for SPA.
Yep.
I think that's, yeah. So you'll no doubt meet him. You'll probably see him in other events and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
We thought so.
So, yeah, you know Harvey. As a society, we organise socials with drinking, non-drinking events. The following slide is about some of the changes that we've had to put in place for 2020, how the society is going to run differently, but ordinarily the socials are drinking, non-drinking events like that. We've also, one of our main things and one of the things that we'll still be able to run really well will be the lectures, which we are planning for. We've got the Anthony Phillips lecture today. We've got a couple of ones planned for the future, things like that. As a society, we're involved with the Institute of Physics, the School of Physics and Astronomy here at QM. We also have connections with other physics societies, companies, groups like that, don't we? We run events with them. The annual trip abroad is a huge
it's a huge part of the society.
It's a huge part of the society.
Yeah.
Something
and it
that
takes up a lot of our time.
It
but
does.
It's
worth it, isn't it?
It's definitely worth it.
Absolutely,
It's
yeah.
definitely my highlight of the university year.
Yeah, and it was an amazing thing to see last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's also the annual ball, which me and Adam haven't been to because we couldn't run ours last year because of
Coronavirus, absolutely.
But Luke knows all about the annual ball.
That is great fun. Get all your friends together, fancy ball, have some fun. Very nice.
Always nice to go back.
And the other thing I would just quickly advertise, since we were talking about lectures, soon, not yet confirmed when, but soon we will have an interview where Professor David Berman, who will be teaching you classical physics in first semester of first year, so sort of like mechanics, Newtonian mechanics, essentially, and wave physics as well. He'll be interviewing Professor Malcolm Perry. Sorry,
that's the one. There is something on it in a later slide.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And he worked with Professor Stephen Hawking on black holes and space-time theories and all sorts of
lots of exciting stuff.
That will be great.
That's one of the events we've got coming up.
Yes.
So it won't come as any surprise to anyone that we've had to change a few things in the way that we run the society, unfortunately. This page is a little breakdown of what we've got in place. So unfortunately, the normal socials that we do, which include things like the pub crawls, bowling, nights out, are really unlikely to run. The Students' Union isn't allowing us to plan events like that. The government also has restrictions in place for things like that, so understandably.
It is tricky for us to run events like that when you can only have 6 people in a room, and our events are usually much more packed than that.
Exactly.
Especially the socials. So it's just not feasible, unfortunately.
With these changes that we're putting in place, we will be reviewing them constantly based on what the union tells us, what the government tells us, and obviously we want to plan events, but we're not going to be able to do it unless we get the go ahead. So
hopefully we can get those back running as soon as possible.
Exactly, yeah. So, well, you know, when everything starts to get back to normal, these events will come back and stuff like that. So we'll have to review that.
In terms of lectures, we will be running them online, and we have been doing that over the summer. We'll be doing it by Teams. Previously, we were using Zoom, but we are now using Teams. So apologies if there's any hiccups in technology, but that's probably one. But so far they've been very successful. They've been great, and the ones that we recorded over the summer on Zoom have been uploaded to our YouTube channel, which you can access on our QM Plus page, which will be available very shortly.
Yes. And the advantage of that is obviously the advantage of doing it online is previously if you couldn't come to the event, you might have missed the lecture, you might have really wanted to see it. Now these lectures and things will be available for you in your free time if you can't make the event. And
also we soon hope to have lectures that are recorded on campus using you know, the
Q review.
Using the cameras.
We have a camera system. We're in a lecture hall right
there's
now.
cameras in the lecture rooms. If we have lectures recorded on there, they'll be uploaded to Q review, which, in case you don't know, is the service that allows you to watch lectures from home. Usually. Yeah.
And of course, big disappointment is the 2020 trip, which is very unlikely to run this year. You know, it's difficult enough to go abroad as a small group on your own right now. So planning a big trip abroad with 30, 40 people, it just isn't feasible. We're going to have to look into that at Christmas, but it's not looking very likely. But
just so you know, if that was to happen, that is usually late February, early March. So that's when your reading week in second semester would be. So
you hopefully wouldn't have missed any.
You wouldn't
lectures
or
you never miss lectures. We purposefully never schedule events during lectures or anything like that because your education matters.
So this is a breakdown of some of the socials that we have planned, some of the socials that we'd usually be planning, things like that. So as mentioned, this includes pub crawls, bowling, dinners out, stuff like that. These were just regular events that we used to do, monthly things and stuff like that. The lectures that we usually do, these lectures are academics in the physics department. They're people who will have been your lecturers in subjects. But the lectures usually cover content which you wouldn't ordinarily cover. They might be very specific topics. The people who are giving them are experts in their field, and it's really interesting stuff. That's why it's what the draw is, I think. Really.
Essentially, in year one, you'll mainly be learning physics that is well known or has been known for a fairly long time. Nothing, brand new. Whereas at our lectures and events, you'll be being told in a more casual way as well about science that is being discovered right now, theories that are being tested, experiments that are currently going on around the world. And at the end of the day, that might, and it has certainly helped me, decide what area of science you might want to go into. Because as you come into university, I came into university wanting to be an astrophysicist. But as I went along, I decided I was more into the theoretical and lab side than the astronomy side. And most of that was because I was going to lectures, both on astronomy and on theoretical physics. And I personally found that theoretical side,
new interests.
Exactly.
Like that,
So it will help you to know where you might want to go. Because in year one, you'll be, pushed into physics and maths certainly.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to see, quote unquote, the end goal by seeing by coming to our lectures or watching our lectures, I suppose. You'll get a much better perspective on that, I would say.
And as mentioned before, we have the functionality from disorder by Anthony Phillips. That'll be in
2 o'clock.
about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
He's going to be joining us.
Yeah.
There's David Berman interviews Malcolm Perry on black hole string theory and Professor Hawking. That's an event that we don't have a date for yet. I don't
Looking to get that organised in the next few weeks.
But that's going to be coming up soon. That should be
Yeah.
our next event. And the end of the year ball, it's a long time in the future, so it's too early to call. But as we anticipate it, it will run in 2021. So we'll have to see that. That's something to look forward to, I think.
Cool.
So we also, as mentioned, run collaborations with different companies and physics societies and the School of Physics.
Yeah.
Some of this is about getting a different perspective. When we had an event last year at Imperial.
Yeah, we have
Where
very close ties with the society leaders at Imperial, PsiStar, and the UCL Physics Society, and we have also worked with the King's College London Physics Society. This year we have even closer ties to the UCL one, so it seems very likely that more collaborative events will be going ahead.
Absolutely, and they've obviously got their own lecturers which are experts in their field. We had in the event last year, Professor Richard Nelson, who you will have for Our Universe in the second semester, delivered a bit on exoplanets, and they had their own lecturers who were also working in similar areas, and it's really great to get to change scenery and get to change of perspective as well in that sort of regard.
Because of course that was the Nobel Prize for that year, so that was why we themed it that way.
Yes.
But of course, we also work with the Institute of Physics. We are affiliated with the Institute of Physics. In fact, we're an affiliated society. We always encourage our members to join the Institute of Physics. It grants you loads of great opportunities. They've got loads of lectures as part of their membership that you can go along to. They do student-led quizzes, a lot of them during our lockdown, but also they have loads of careers help, and they have loads of stuff. I would heavily suggest you Google them and check out their website. And apparently they're coming onto campus in the next 2 weeks as Harvey, so you should hear about them fairly soon.
There is also some of our PhD students, which are all obviously doing their own research. We get them to do talks on some interesting areas, and also tell you about postgrads, something that is probably a bit early for you to be thinking about, because you obviously only just started your degree, but something that a few years down the line is definitely going to be something you'll be considering to further your education. And last of all, there is PASS, which is, I'm not sure how they're running.
Assisted Study Support.
Yes.
I'm a PASS mentor, so I can tell you about that, in case you haven't already been told. PASS is PASS is open to all foundation year first year and second year students, and essentially it's we hire year students, year 3s and year 2s, can help you with your coursework, with questions about university, modules, whatever you want. We cannot give you the answers, but we can help you, hence it's mentoring. And it will be running this year. There is a QM Plus page, which you should be able to access when you click on all modules. And it will be accessible via Blackboard Collaborate, which is essentially like a live Microsoft Paint, sort of also like Teams kind of system, which means that we can like write on whiteboards, you can join in, and we can solve problems together in your homeworks. But as I say, not give you the answers, because that would not help you in exams at the end of the day. But yeah, I would heavily recommend year 1s and year 2s, and of course foundation years to join in, because
it's really giving you as much help as possible, isn't it? You'll eventually inevitably hit a brick wall with something, and it's really helpful. I think some of my main help during first year came from students in older years. They've obviously just learned it, it's fresh in their minds. We had the opportunity to directly interact with them, but you guys won't see as many people on campus doing that. So having the opportunity there is really helpful. Cannot oversell that enough, really. Yeah. So I think we'll. Oh no, sorry, I jumped down there.
Right. So although it is quite unlikely that we will be able to run an annual trip this year. We thought we would just point out some, well, actually that is just some of the locations we've been to. We've been to, back in 2016, went to Bergen in Norway to look at the Northern Lights, and there's lots of good photographs of that. In 2017, the gang went over to Geneva to visit CERN. We were actually guided around by our own staff, Professor Marcella Bonner. She might be professor, I don't know. But she's very influential in CERN, so we got our own tour around Atlas, and that was very interesting. In 2018, they all went to Iceland to have a look around Iceland, essentially. There was Northern Light stuff, earth sciences, they visited volcanoes and
geophysics.
Yeah, sort of geophysics, exactly. And also, obviously, there's lots of, as you might have seen recently, the whole phosphine on Venus. We don't understand planetary atmospheres and how planets are created completely yet.
As well as we'd like to.
Certainly as well as we'd like to. And Iceland has a lot of what we think helped to create the Earth still going on.
Geologically very active country, isn't it? So,
exactly. Then in 2019 we went to Amsterdam and visited STEC in Noordwijk, which is a European Space Agency design and technology centre that only was opened in 2019. So we were one of the first groups in the world to visit. And they had, it was great, they had like real Mars rovers, they had like the
there's
parts
a picture of that in the top right.
Yeah, that's right. You could like go inside parts of the International Space Station or
models.
Life scale models of the International Space Station. It was amazing.
Was that the first one you were on? Was that?
That was my first one, yes. And then in 2020, we went to Kiev in Ukraine, which was great.
Yeah,
very cheap.
Yeah.
And we visited the Chernobyl exclusion zone.
I think that was the first year that was available as well, wasn't it? I think they'd only just opened the exclusion zone to tourists, like the previous year.
No, I don't think that's the case.
It wasn't.
I think it was getting cheaper. I think it was getting much cheaper than it used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
When you could go in such big groups.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
But that is incredible.
It was great.
And the photo there in the middle is the one that we got as a group shot.
Yeah. That's only half the group. I might add.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because we were split into on that.
Got you in your fashionable pink hazmat suit.
Yes, I don't know if you can see my mouse. This is Shay.
Yes.
This is Shay. So. Right, I'm here. Anyway. Memberships.
Yes.
Yes.
You can scan that little QR code there, which will take you directly to the Students' Union website. I know, I made that.
Oh, that's insane. I love that. Yeah, so you can get your memberships for the year.
Yeah.
£5 for the year, which is pretty decent.
That is probably one of the cheapest ones that there are
Yeah.
available. If you want to join any sports societies, they might charge you up as £100
Some
for
of
the
them do,
year.
Yeah.
I know Sorry?
Yeah, I was in jiu-jitsu and it was £80 a year.
Fencing was £150 a year.
That's it.
Yeah. It's so £5. That £5 will be for you to attend regular lectures. If in semester B we look to do more socials, which we'd be allowed to do, then it'll give you the opportunity to do that, and that essentially really helps the society run.
Yeah.
That's, I think, is our primary sort of income, really.
It's our largest source of income.
Yeah, so that's how we can get the opportunity to organise big events and collaborations and things like that.
We need your help.
So if you guys could do that, that would be really helpful for us.
Help us to help you,
Yeah. So please do scan the link.
Click on the
it will only
link.
take you to the QMSU page for PsiStar, which has been updated for this year.
It has.
So it should have up-to-date information. We don't update that one as regularly as some of our other sites, but you will be able to find out information about our upcoming events on there. General society information. There's also our emails.
All the links to the places on there, aren't they? So.
Yeah, you can email us directly if you have any questions about the society, about the university, about anything, and our university emails are all on there. So,
But in general, if you want to email the society, QM PsiStar, so that's PSISTAR @qmul.ac.uk. one of us will answer you whatever you have to ask us, or tell us, or offer us.
Absolutely.
And we are quite quick on there, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
hopefully you've clicked that link. You've scanned that
click
link.
that link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Squad fan. Right, I'm gonna go to the next slide. 3,
and
2,
the next.
1, bang.
And there it is, our social media. That is the link to our QM Plus page, which is new for this year.
Can they click on that?
I don't think they can. That is a hyperlink on my PowerPoint, but I don't think that you can click on that. So please just go to, if you go to QM Plus, there's a search icon in the top right. If you put PsiStar in there, it is the first option to come up, and that should have been available, made available. Thank you, Harvey. Yes.
If you want to be added to our WhatsApp group,
yeah, that we do have a WhatsApp group which is does have discussions in it, and you can ask for help in there. It's quite active. I don't know how you invite people to.
Yeah, so what I think would probably be best, if you want to join our WhatsApp group, which we would suggest, and also if you want to join our mailing list, because we do send out emails, it would be best, I think, if you do email us at qmsistar@qmul.ac.uk, because that way we'll have your email address, and if you give us your phone number, we can add you to the WhatsApp group.
Absolutely.
Because we do send a lot of our information out by email. I know a lot of people don't like using social media a lot as well, so we do get a lot of people asking, more emails please. So there will be more emails this year.
And usually we would have a big freshers fair where you'd be there and you can type your email in, and we'd just add everyone to a mailing list. But this year things are quite different, and we don't even know what's going on with the welcome fair. So they haven't told us that. They haven't decided what they're doing.
Oh, there's no welcome fair.
No.
There's an
Really?
there's an
Is there an
unofficial.
alternative?
There's an unofficial one.
Okay. Well,
It's next week sometime.
are we doing that?
We might do. We'll see. Also, join our Facebook group. If you go into search on Facebook and you type in PsiStar,
comes up.
I think, does it?
Yeah.
It definitely comes up if you put in PsiStar's Physics and Astronomy, but it should come up with PsiStar on its own.
Yeah, and that is the one of our that is all the most up-to-date information is on there. That is where if we have any lectures, events, we'll post a link in there which you can just click to join in, stuff like that. So the Facebook page is the most useful.
And that's been used since the start of the society back in 2012.
And that does bring us to the end of the introduction.
Yeah.
And that has run over a little bit as well. I think.
What do you
How long
think?
does the quiz take?
Well,
I think we can squeeze the quiz.
do you think we can squeeze the quiz in there? Okay. Well, we're gonna fire up the quiz then, which we've got on the. Sorry, I have to reach over here, which is I think it's on screen sharing.
Play.
Where is it? Okay.
I'm so glad it didn't tell me the answers on my screen.
Quick sneak peek.
Right.
You set this up because I don't.
So if you want to join in, go to kahoot.it. Well, type into Google Kahoot essentially, or if you so you don't get echo. But you can join us with that code 2346675. You can join in the Kahoot.
And I think it'd be worth those people joining in now. I think it'd be worth mentioning that if this does run over a little bit, this should end no later than 5 minutes past 2, because that's when we have our lecture from Anthony Phillips. We don't want to keep on waiting. Yeah, we could, but hopefully we'll squeeze it in.
Yeah, we should be alright, I think.
Should be fine. And then after that, we've got the Q&A session. So do, if you have a quick check of the comment section now, see if anyone has written anything in, but...
Yeah, it's just good.
That one.
How does Teams work? Chat's up there.
Chat.
Are we still showing the screen? Oh.
No.
Hello, James.
Say hi.
Thank you, James.
I don't think we are still showing the team, showing the screen.
Let's do that.
Let's go to the.
We are.
Yeah. Beg your pardon.
We're back now.
Hello.
See our nice faces.
You can see us. I think they could always see us actually.
Maybe, I don't know.
There's the number back up if you don't have that. We'll give you another 2 minutes to get that downloaded and logged on. If you don't have Kahoot, then
I've tried to make.
What are you doing?
I'm sure everyone has the Kahoot
I have
app.
tried to make my Kahoot as balanced as possible, but well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I've never seen a lot of these questions in quizzes before. They're not hard questions.
It is
You get
physics
multiple
based.
choice.
It is-
Some of them are physics.
No, it's just
most of them aren't. It's
Oh.
general knowledge.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, I think people from all walks of life will quite like.
Yeah,
You'll like one of the questions at least.
at least one.
Yeah, just
By the
hang
way-
out for that one question.
Oh no!
Oh, of course, I'm sharing the PowerPoint slide, aren't I?
Apologies.
Sorry about that. So stop sharing, share. I don't know. Some of them are
That
probably wizard.
Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
it, yeah.
So there's the
If
page.
we apologise, we didn't know
That
we were
is-
sharing or not. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 5. We'll give you just a touch more for people to join.
I don't. How did 25 of them get it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Just
Yeah.
guess.
Just really listening. Just
Yeah.
really like.
Oh, they heard you say it once.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately, you might be good at remembering numbers, but in physics, you don't need numbers, you need letters. So, hard luck. You might have been using.
Have fun figuring out what PsiStar means.
You might have been. Yeah, that's true. When you find out what PsiStar is, you'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah, you might have just done physics A level and be like, wow, I know how to divide numbers. Yeah, you don't need that.
Okay, you have another 20 seconds,
Yeah, I'll
and
give you 20
then
seconds.
there's still a couple
think we
of
got most
people
people.
coming in. Most people are in. I think there were 37 at the start of this.
Someone's
so-
being quite meta and it's called Kahoot.
Ooh.
Someone's put the code in, sorry.
that's good.
We appreciate.
Do you think they
we
knew?
appreciate
Or did
it.
they just type
No,
into the name?
that's even more meta than Kahoot. So I think they are
Yeah.
the king or queen of meta. We like that.
Okay, hopefully you are all in now. Fingers crossed. If not, I don't know if I can join any longer.
I
Thank
don't.
you.
still can, but-
I don't know. We'll see.
No
All
idea.
right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, you
Are
why
we
not?
going to read them? I don't.
No. It shows you. How many time zones does Russia have? 7, 8, 10, or 11?
Like that.
I'm just imagining.
You imagine the music like the music's catchy.
We've had to mute the music. But I'm
You can still
imagining-
bob along.
Okay, I think there were 28 people, weren't there?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Ooh. Yeah, it has 11. It's a very long boy. It's a long country. All right, next. Well done, Hamza. Or Hamza. Lucky Simon. Ooh, who invented?
Who invented the rabies vaccine?
I know.
Louis Pasteur, Edward Jenner,
Joseph Lister, or Humphrey
Humphrey
Davy.
Davy. Interesting.
I did not know this, so I was very
Actually,
intrigued when I
make an
found this
educated
out.
guess.
Rabies vaccination.
Mm.
You know, I think I could eliminate two, but I don't think
It's Louis Pasteur.
Oh.
Edward Jenner invented the smallpox vaccination, not rabies. Joseph Lister invented sort of
Like the
antiseptic.
Yeah, antiseptic.
And then Humphrey Davy basically sniffed chemicals and discovered,
That's
and
the
as
chloroform,
such
wasn't
discovered
it? Yeah.
ether. It was ether actually.
Oh, was it?
He discovered ether, which
It does the same thing, doesn't it?
essentially,
Yes.
not as good, but
It's on a roll.
history GCSE. What was the name of the first Doctor Who? John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton, William Hartnell, or Peter Davison?
Let's see, how many nerds do we think we have?
God, it was more than choice.
If they're physics students, there should be some nerds here. I mean,
There's
come on.
got to be at least a few.
Yeah,
At least one.
I need more.
I expect to see at least 50-50.
Oh, wow.
We got-
I wouldn't have
16
got
of
that.
you. Well
that's,
done.
That's a fair proportion of nerds.
That's good.
That's good. F's in the
Alright.
chat for everyone
There
else.
we go.
Lucky
Simon's
Simon's
doing
doing well.
On fire.
Okay.
There we go.
Name the world's largest island. Madagascar, Greenland, Australia, or Honshu?
Yeah, this one.
Depends, because I think this essentially comes from, do you know what the definition of an island is? What counts as island?
I don't know.
There's only one answer.
I feel like a wrestling commentator at the moment. Oh my
In
god!
the red corner.
Oh my god!
That was an amazing SmackDown.
Greenland.
It's Greenland because Australia is a continent.
It is. Yeah.
And in case you didn't know where Honshu is, because someone asked me the other day, it's the biggest island on Japan, I believe.
It is.
That's the mainland then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. I know it's in
It's the one
Japan.
with Tokyo as well.
Right.
Which garden was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world?
Garden of Gethsemane, Garden of Eden, the Great Garden of Alexandria, or Hanging Garden of Babylon?
You said 5 knowledge coming in handy.
Yeah, but that right.
Oh, don't worry, no,
They're quick.
like this.
They are quick. Only 20
We will have to see how.
We can end
what
early
is
if we
it?
have to.
Yeah.
Good.
Hang
People
on to
playing
Babylon.
Civ 5 know their stuff. Or Civ 6, actually. Very nice.
Yeah, let's
I'm
fight
just
through
gonna-
this. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep it.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to keep going. Name the famous gardens 10 miles outside of London. London knowledge here. Hampton Court Gardens, Newcastle Gardens, Kew Gardens, Oxfordshire Gardens. Yeah, there's not a lot of photos that you can
Stock
choose
images,
on
isn't
this.
it?
Yeah, it's stock images, I'm afraid.
Depends how you play this game as well, doesn't it? I mean, do you go for the quickest answer as possible, risking that you might be wrong? Do you think about it to get the right answer?
You've got to
You've got to go quick because that's how you win.
Kew
Nice.
Gardens, well done, 17 of you.
Lovely. Right, I'm just going to skip forward.
Some strong general knowledge here.
What is the most watched video on
Ooh.
YouTube?
It's a good question.
Baby Shark Dance, Shape of You by Ed Sheeran, Despacito, Louis Fonsi, or See You Again, Wiz Khalifa featuring.
That's a really good
I can't read the rest. There's a thing in the bottom of our screen.
I thought it was
No one's
keyboard
answered.
cat. I thought it was keyboard cat. Oh, suddenly
Jesus.
everyone
Again, nice.
answered.
Everyone answered
There
in
we
1
go.
second. Flat. Nice.
Despacito, is it?
Alexa,
That's
play
news to me.
Despacito. This is so
Whoa,
sad.
whoa, 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 hold on. Some of them probably have an Alexa in the room, which
Oh,
is now.
I'm so sorry. If that just actually.
Alexa, answer all the questions for me.
Which heavyweight boxer was never defeated after 49 fights? Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, or Sugar Ray Robinson?
It's a very good quiz.
The pictures will be great.
Surprisingly, that's a stock picture actually. Fits
Nice.
quite well. Oh, we got 29.
Oh, we got 29. Sorry. I
So
didn't-
there is a 29th person.
Okay, I won't skip when I see 28 now. Okay.
Oh, Rocky.
It was Rocky Marciano, who is obviously the inspiration for the real one. Which player played for Liverpool, Everton, Man City, and Man U? Kenny Dalglish, Yaya Toure, Peter Beardsley, or Steven Gerrard?
I'd say just in general, based on what we've now determined our demographic to be, this question may not be answered quite as well.
I know.
That's
so-
the point. He knows the answer, so I think some of them.
Oh wow!
Couldn't
Oh,
have done any
well,
of the
that's,
others.
wow.
No, the others are either just Liverpool or maybe
Yeah.
just like Man City, I think.
Liverpool, Man City, and just
Right. When playing music, what does a piano instruction mean? As in Italian, to play slowly, softly, to add a pause, or to play loudly?
piano.
Piano,
Piano.
piano, piano, piano. Any Italians here? You've got this.
PP, very hard.
Piano.
Very soft.
So funny.
You're wrong. Well done.
There we
Oh,
go. See,
I-
most of
I-
you. See, most of you there.
Most of you
knowledge
are
is
classical
up there.
musicians. Well done. Lucky Sana's doing
Join the
well.
orchestra as well.
How many valves does a trumpet have?
Ooh. That.
Yes. Mhm. I know.
You're whispering it like people won't figure it out. No one's there going, I can't believe this.
I cannot
What
believe
sort of a
what they
B-Tech
have done.
Will everyone get it
is
right?
this?
Well done. Okay. I mean, I would struggle to think
I
of
wouldn't
that.
have known
I might have been 4. I don't know. Well done, Drew.
that.
When painting with tempera, what is tempera? Paint with vegetable oil, paint with egg yolk, paint with sand, or paint with water? It's when you mix it in. You mix something into the paint,
Right,
essentially.
Tempera.
So you mix something
Playing with
into the paint.
tempura.
I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. I think it's tempera. It might be tempera. I don't know. It's probably an Italian word. Good.
Yeah,
egg
Well
yolk.
done. Some of you.
What does it do? Do we know what it
It
does?
thickens it up. It thickens
Ah.
it up. Some of you are artists. Who owns the most followed Twitter account? Barack Obama, Donald J. Trump, Katy Perry, or Justin Bieber?
Follow Donald Trump just for the memes.
I think it's those two lobsters on screen. Don't you agree?
I don't know why the lobsters are there.
I couldn't find anything that I thought matched. It's Barack Obama. Yes, ex-president of the United States. We got.
I'd follow Obama.
Malvolio features in which Shakespeare play. I have played this person on stage. Twelfth Night, Merchant of Venice, Othello, or A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Do you have a video?
I have photos.
I'd like to see those when we're finished.
What year did you play that?
2017, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Just before I came.
Oh, nice. I've never seen that one.
It's my favourite because I was in it. He's a comedy character, also a tragedy character. Right. He gets locked in a box. Who wrote the Twilight series of books? Suzanne Collins, Jacqueline Wilson, Julia Donaldson, or Stephanie Meyer?
I'm disappointed that I know this.
Me too.
They had a lot of
Team
stock,
Edward.
they had a lot of stock wolves when I was making this. I didn't struggle for wolves. May Queen, Wisley Crab, Fox Whelps, and Lane Prince Albert are all what? Potatoes, apples, pears, or strawberries?
That's what you said before, wasn't it?
I may have said about this to you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good quiz though. This is making me think. I should be playing along.
Apple.
Yeah.
All you people that fell for potatoes, never trust me. What colour is absinthe?
Ooh.
Usually. There are
okay.
actually other colours of this. I've actually found out after having made this.
Have you ever had it?
I haven't, but I think I've seen it.
Yes, I have. It is now legal, by the way. People think it's not legal.
Oh, really?
It is now legal.
Does it taste old?
I don't want to say it in case it gives it away.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, interesting.
Green.
I'm not sure I'd want to drink anything.
There is now red absinthe, admittedly. I will give you that, but it's quite rare. I didn't find my
place to drink it.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. What is the most common colour of toilet paper in France? Red, blue, yellow, or green? I didn't know that other countries had different colours of toilet paper.
I'm not sure I want a different colour of toilet paper as well.
Why?
I don't know why you would bother.
No.
I know, but when I found this out, I was...
Also, is that not a question of which colour do you hate the most? Because if you wipe with
red,
people
Like for your favourite
they
colour.
have red toilet paper in
Oh,
France.
no.
I can see how that would go wrong. I'm not going to say anything. Quiz. Which of these is a place in the UK? Red.
Belen strikes me as a very British place.
I see that. I see it.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
all
Too,
of them.
All of them.
We just thought we would educate you. That was all.
That is fantastic.
More you know.
Which of these is not a name for a place?
You're gonna read them out.
God.
No, that yellow one, that is a place. Right, I know that yellow is a place. I'm not sure about the other side, the other three.
We can hear you.
Just muted himself quickly.
He's like, damn, I've given the answers away. It's that place, which is actually German for like a boat company or something.
Interesting.
So,
Right,
Well, I
sorry,
don't
I am kind of late. Oh, I am, and I'm stupid. What am I supposed to do?
so you're supposed to have on your phone. There's the Kahoot app, and you can join
Right.
using a code.
Unfortunately, I don't think the code's up anymore. No, sorry, I beg your pardon. The game pin is
Oh,
at
it's
the
at the
bottom.
bottom. It's the bottom. 2,
So
3,
if
4,
you
6, 6, 7.
try joining there, you should be able to get in.
Which Apollo astronaut did not step on the moon? Alfred Gordon, Michael Collins, Alan Shepard, or Jim Lovell? I've actually met one of these. Yes, I've signed. I met Alfred Warden. All of these are Apollo astronauts, but only one of them is Apollo 11. None
Are
of you.
you guys all students? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
right? Okay.
Right, moving on. Who's winning? Lucky Sana still winning.
Oksana back in the lead.
And Drew Takeshi 69 and Dylan SB. Clearly. How many years did the 100 Years' War actually last? 99, 100 years, 102, 116 years. Bit of history knowledge for you.
We've got 10 minutes left here.
Well,
Maybe cut a little bit short, but how is Anthony Phillips joining us?
he should be joining the call.
Is he going to join the call?
That's what I asked.
Okay.
We're about halfway through and it's been 10
Yeah,
minutes.
we can.
So.
I can just get through this quickly. How many days were in a Roman week? 6, 7, 8, or 9?
Answer quickly. They're all named after gods, aren't they?
Not all of them.
No, not everyone, but their week was all named after.
Yeah, like Woden's Day is Wednesday. They had next.
8 people got the correct answer, which was 8. Incroyable. On average, in the Major League Baseball, how many pitches is a ball used for before being binned? 3, 5, 7, or 9 times? I.e., how many times is a ball hit in MLB before it's thrown away?
Ball.
Yeah.
Those are all low numbers, though.
It's wasteful.
Just
isn't it?
from like.
Well, it's actually, this is the thing though. It's not even when it's hit, because most of the time, only about 30% of the time the ball's hit.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well done. 7 people got 7. Brilliant. Okay. So, which country hosted the 1986 Football World Cup? I should have made that clear. Spain, Italy, Brazil, or Mexico? Who knows their World Cups? I know a lot of people do.
I think I know that.
I don't know.
Quite sure.
I'll be honest, I didn't know this either. I'm not.
It's tough even if you're
I
a football
myself, I'm not a big footy guy, but
Didn't we used to have a football team?
I thought it was next.
PsiStar did used to have a football team, yes, but I'm not a big football person. True or false? Do penguins have knees? Penguins have knees, true or false?
Oh,
Does anyone know the answer?
Oh my god, you'd have to lift one up to find out.
I know.
someone just runs to the zoo and examines a penguin.
Bang! They have knees, but apparently they're below layers of fat, so you can't see them.
Interesting. So they get much use then?
They do walk a long way, the penguins.
Mm.
In what country are books given as gifts on Christmas Eve? Norway, Poland, Iceland, Czech Republic, sometimes known as Czechia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Czech Republic or Czechia, but whatever. Norway, Poland, Iceland, Czech Republic. I have been to one of these countries, Poland. It's Iceland.
I've been to Iceland.
Bam. Yeah, I think that's nice. Better than in England, where you don't get anything on Christmas Eve.
Actually, I always open Christmas.
Get lots.
Christmas Eve.
Fair. You get lots of suspense.
I can see the presents watching.
Who had the UK Christmas #1 in 2000? The Teletubbies, Bob the Builder, Craig David, or George Michael? Is that Avril Lavigne? I actually can't tell in the photo.
No idea.
Oh, whatever. Who knows?
Bob the Builder was hugely popular.
Huge.
But
I mean, all of them.
does it
were.
count? But as a Christmas #1.
And what if George? Yeah,
It was, yeah.
Oh my god.
I was hoping you might think that.
Who's there around the Christmas tree just bopping out? Can we?
Where is it to tradition to eat KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, at Christmas? China, Canada, the Philippines, or Japan?
I can't see why you'd want to, if I'm honest. I look forward, like, for months to Christmas dinner.
I believe this country also eats Kit Kats on Valentine's Day.
I could get behind that.
They're very big on
When I'm
advertising.
alone
campaigns.
with my Kit Kat.
What Instagram account has the most followers? Instagram at Instagram, Ariana Grande at Ariana Grande, Dwayne Johnson at The Rock, or Cristiano Ronaldo at Cristiano.
Do you follow
I
any
think
of
I
them?
know that.
I don't follow any of these. I'm not-
I follow The Rock.
Ah,
Do you?
Yeah.
it's actually
Is it?
Instagram.
Why? Do they?
People follow Instagram on Instagram.
Why would you want to
would you
follow
do that?
Instagram? What is Instagram posting that's?
What food is stolen from shops most across the world? Chicken, rice, eggs, or cheese? We had this one last year, but I put it in again.
I'm trying to remember it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think why
I don't
you'd steal any of those. But I.
Not a high value item.
Yeah.
What do people want from supermarkets?
Jeez.
It's cheese.
Cheese. People
loving
steal cheese.
Apparently, that's a thing. There's actually studies on that. Which of these is not a member of the Travelling Wilburys? That's a band. Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Tom Petty, or Pete Townsend? All of these are legends, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And they made the best group of
Travelling
legends ever, essentially, people say. So
Big music guy?
I'm big into music. Yeah. I have a music blog. Follow me on Instagram.
I've seen your Instagram.
That is the biggest plug I've ever heard.
Yes, and I don't mind.
Shameless.
Which of these is not a David Bowie song? Aladdin Sane, Man Who Sold the World, Nursery Crime, or Sound and Vision? I do like all of these. I must say. I do like all of these.
Like Bowie.
I mean, Bowie's my favourite, I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that's like edgy and stuff.
Yeah.
Nursery Crime is an album by Genesis in their early days, not by David Bowie. So, Lucky Sana still doing well. Who played James Bond in A View to a Kill? Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, or Pierce Brosnan? I like.
The guy says to Sean Connery, what times? When's the next train to Wimbledon?
A View to a Kill has a great theme song by Duran Duran. You should listen to it. Who rapped Juicy? Who knows? Come on. The Notorious B.I.G., Tupac Shakur, Juice WRLD, or Drake?
I do like how the theme of this quiz has gone. Because last year, Adil's themed quiz.
Yeah, he was terrible.
That was awful. Just all cultural world stuff. Just no one getting the answer.
Yeah, I tried to be good this year. Good, people knowing Notorious B.I.G. The Thomas the Tank Engine version is the best, let's all be honest. Oh, I just saw someone took over the lead, but I didn't see who it was. Who painted Swans Reflecting Elephants? Pablo Picasso, Frida Kahlo, Salvador Dali, Remy Magritte.
There are so many scientists that you come across in your course that are from different parts of the world, and you watch every lecturer try and pronounce their name in a different way. Well
done. It's a good painting.
Baxendale.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. Oh my God, out of prison and winning. Which classical composer has 2 skulls in his tomb? Joseph Haydn, Frédéric Chopin, George Friedrich Handel, Antonio Vivaldi. There's a whole story to this. I knew that you were, so I thought I'd stick them into you. But you might.
Really, general knowledge.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Diverse.
Yeah, there are some science ones, but they're mainly at the end. Tekashi 6ix9ine is doing well. According to Statista, which clothing brand has the highest brand value in 2020? Zara, Nike, Adidas, or Lululemon? I couldn't find any good photos.
Nike or Nike?
Nike. I think it is actually Nike, but I always say Nike.
I say Nike as well, but I mean, it's
I think
it's just divisive.
the company came out, but like with British. Aluminum. Get that out. Yeah. Nice. Not much change. Roughly how many more bones do babies have than full-grown adults? That's humans. 50, 80, 100, or 150? They got a lot more bones in the skull, you know?
It's because the skull isn't fully formed and then it solidifies in the first few months.
No, it's the teeth, isn't it? Because they store all the extra teeth.
Yeah, I mean, there's that as well.
Because I would have thought apart from that they have less, because as we grow up, the bones actually like separate.
No, it's in your skull, because that's why babies have like cone skulls sometimes. Because I think we might just get through. Which planet spins oppositely to the other 8 planets, except Uranus, which is completely off axis? Is it Venus, Earth, Mars, or Jupiter? I didn't know this.
I did.
I'm surprised because we did a whole course about planets and that just wasn't mentioned. So
yes,
yeah,
I'm racking my brain now as well, trying to.
I think you mentioned
just
it.
now I know.
You mentioned it in our university.
Tis Venus. Venus, the crazy, possibly life-living planet.
Yeah.
What is the most streamed song on Spotify? Rockstar by Post Malone, Shape of You, Ed Sheeran, Closer, One Dance, by Drake. Really big. I like some of them.
2 o'clock, so 8 probably join. I'm going to blaze through these
We're
last
just
three
blazing
questions.
through, How many bits in a byte of data? 4, 8, 10, 12. Who did computing A level essentially?
No.
I didn't.
Sorry, I'm just a nerd.
Yeah, chemistry, French AS. Languages are cool. The process of getting output from a laser to excite an active medium is called what? Priming, raising, pumping, or blooming?
How many of them are actually going to know that?
That's part of the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you gave this to Peter, the lab guy, or Sakib, they would know. So it's fair. It is pumping.
Oh, the lab technicians are amazing people.
Oh, yeah,
it's so sad you won't meet them.
Who co-founded Yahoo? Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, David Filo and Jerry Yang, Vince Cerf and Robert Kahn, or Steve Case and Jeff Bezos?
I thought it was David Philo and Andrew Yang, the presidential candidate, and I was like, that can't be right.
Well done. Some people fell for my trick of having Jeff Bezos in the picture. Right. In which film does Matt Damon not need to be rescued? The Monuments Man, The Martian, Interstellar, or Saving Private Ryan?
Sorry?
I just got a message from him. If you can, maybe.
It's a process of elimination, that one.
Kreplach is Klingon for what? Battleship, dam, warrior, or... Nah, that's not a Klingon word. Sorry, we're just going to quick check something.
I think it's share the same screen. Oh.
Okay, one second.
It's a hello to Anthony Phillips.
Hello to Anthony
we'll
Phillips.
be
there
with you in 1 second.
1 second.
Sorry, all the message says is you don't have to rush, take your time, so don't worry.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. He's a great guy, Anthony Phillips. You'll soon see. Right, here we go.
Last 3 questions.
What is the sarcastic droid in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story called? K2SO, R2D2, BB-8, or IG-88? All of these are droids
They're
from Star
all droids
Wars.
from Star Wars.
But which is the right one?
Do you know them all?
I don't know that one. I'll give you that. I know the rest.
Good.
Good. I like K2SO. He's great. That one at the end might be the one from.
True or false? In the Iron Man films, Tony Stark's arc reactor runs on a Palladium core.
Might be the one from Solo, I think.
I haven't seen
it. Is. Yeah.
Boom! No, I don't actually remember what the metal is, but it's not Palladium because Palladium's real.
I genuinely thought it was because I did a presentation in physics on that.
It is only in films 1 and 2 though. In number 3, it changes. At the end of 2, it changes.
What does it change to?
Supposedly a vibranium core because it says he's discovered a new element, but it didn't know it was actually a real element by him.
Yeah,
so.
I'm actually doubting your question as well.
Fair enough.
I think
I'll be honest. I stole that from last year's committee. So
in number 1, it is.
Number 1 and like halfway through 2, it is Palladium.
Sorry guys,
right.
if you're all talking, then this gets quite confusing on our end. Sorry.
That's all right. Last question. If you removed all empty space from our atoms, what kind of volume would the entire human race fit into? A grain of rice, a sugar cube, a microwave, or a small car? Like a Mini Cooper-sized car.
So I think most people know roughly how much empty space there is, but that is a weird general knowledge factor. That's a sugar cube.
We could fit into a sugar cube if we decided to spontaneously compact.
A sugar cube is also the size Earth would need to be to form a black hole.
And also, I don't know, I didn't include this. If you wanted, just keep us human-sized, we would all fit on the Isle of Wight.
We'd also all fit inside the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, with a lot of space to spare as well.
Yeah.
The winner
He wouldn't fit.
Congratulations.
Lucky Sana, Dhruv, and Takeshi69. Well done. And
well done to runners up.
Someone else,
yeah.
Runners up. You have won. Unfortunately, we can't give you prizes because
we would have had prizes.
We're not with you. But
what was the prizes have been?
Event. Do let us know it was you.
Yes. And
there you go.
We will say, well done.
Give you a This month, I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that was the Kahoot quiz. Thank you very much, Luke, for making that. It was definitely better than last year's.
Yeah.
For how well that went. What we are going to move on to now, I'm going to stop sharing, is we're going to be moving on to the lecture, which is, I've forgotten the name of it, Functionality from Disorder by Dr. Anthony Phillips, who has joined us. Hello, Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Hello.
Yes, so we're going to be moving on to that. I'm going to share the screen over to you.
Yep.
And then when you're done, we're going to have the lecture should be about 45 minutes, maybe a bit short of that, and then we're going to have a short Q&A session with Anthony Phillips.
Yep.
And then a Q&A session with us after that time. And now we're going to go into the section of the afternoon. This is the final section. We're not going to go on for much longer, but this is a general Q&A where you can ask us any questions to students about the society, about the university, anything you want. And if there isn't much engagement, we don't have anything else planned this evening, this afternoon. So
I thought I'd start this off,
Yeah.
just in case this drives up some memories in your head. I would just go through the modules that you'll be taught in first year, and these guys will fill me in if I forget one.
Yeah.
So in your first semester, you will learn MT1, Mathematical Techniques 1. So that's sort of, you do a bit of matrices, bit of differentiation.
Yeah.
You do a bunch of different rules, limits.
It's a slight continuation on from it's
got quite a
essentially
lot of
further
A-level
maths.
maths,
Further
isn't it?
maths.
It's further maths
If
and a
you've
bit
done
more.
further maths, then you will have covered the majority of the content.
Well, not all of it.
Not all of it. There's also MT0, which is important.
Yeah,
to point out.
MT0, I don't know,
basic
that's
maths,
changed,
isn't
that's
it?
changed
So
from my year to-
MT0 is basic mathematical techniques.
That's literally a level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not even. It's just to make sure you it's not a proper module. It's not graded as a proper module. It's to make sure you're at the level you need to be at to understand.
You do a test every week.
You do a test every once a month. It's a once a month test, and it's like it's a pass fail thing. You don't get graded or scored.
If you
on
get
it.
what was it? Well,
You need 30 marks out of 45.
and if you pass that, you don't have to do
And
it.
if you pass that, you don't have to turn up for the rest of
If
the
you really
month.
good at
So
maths, you
MT0 is just to make sure that you are at a level where you will understand what's happening.
It's not.
It's not to teach you new stuff necessarily.
and once you
that's the
pass the
gap in
test,
your-
I don't think you have to
That's
go
yeah.
anymore.
You don't have to
No,
go
you don't.
anymore. So some people go for the first 4 weeks, take the test, never again.
So there's only gaps in your maths knowledge.
Exactly. It's to isolate if you haven't covered something specifically or you need more work.
Okay, yeah, so this test is the MT0 basic, is it basic?
Basic mathematical.
Basic mathematical techniques. You kind of go through some like number theories,
You'll think it's ridiculous.
long division,
You
some
will.
simple algebra.
It starts with like, what does it start with, like percentages?
It starts with like
No,
real
what was it?
numbers.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then
Integers.
Yeah, definitions. You know,
Factorization.
we went into that, thinking he was just going to be like, haha, fooled you, and then lift up the whiteboard and be like, here's some differential equations, but it really is
it's
just
quite simple. Yeah.
just to get
It's
you
to make sure you know the basics essentially, because they have to check.
Yeah. So we've got MT0 and MT1.
Yep, MT1. You've got classical physics, which is
Taught by David Berman.
taught by Professor David Berman. He's a great lecturer.
Yep.
And that is about mechanics, so gravity. You've got like springs,
Planetary.
planet,
planetary
yeah.
stuff,
So like planet, momentum and angular momentum, velocity and angular velocity.
Yeah.
And then of course there's wave stuff as well.
Yeah.
So
Is that
Very different.
module was used to be called From Newton to Einstein.
yeah,
so
that was more than
it has been adapted from that, but essentially it's all that physics.
It's like
that's
before quantum stuff, isn't it?
It's very easy to wrap your head around because it's still the physics you see in every day.
If you think of Newtonian physics and waves,
Yeah,
that's
essentially
it.
it. Have I missed anything in first semester?
And then
Yeah,
computing.
there's
Yes, computing. So I mean, we've already sort of explained this, but you've got professional skills for scientists,
Yeah.
where you will do mostly coding,
Mostly coding and a
Python,
few
using-
employability things.
yeah,
as well.
using PyCharm. You'll
Yeah.
use PyCharm in that. Where you'll sort of be introduced into Python. It's more than just, they call it introductory. I think there's a little bit more to it. Than
It
that.
is because
Go and do the
I
project,
I
yeah.
think you did A-level computing and
Yeah.
you found it quite easy.
Yeah.
I hadn't done computing since GCSE and I found it quite hard. So there's a lot of support there, but depending on how you fall on which side and what
But
You get a lot of time.
all physicists have to learn a certain amount of code, and
Yeah.
this is the certain amount you have to learn in order for your degree to be accredited by the Institute of Physics, and therefore that's why this is a compulsory module.
And there's a little section. on
Like I know for me,
Yes.
at the end of the module, I had to. I was given a list of data, and then I had to use it to show weather patterns, and then I wrote a report about climate change or something. It was a while ago for me because I'm beginning third year.
It hasn't changed much. In ours, we got a large data set and we wrote code to interpret it.
And for you, that will be taught by Dr. Craig Agnor.
Oh, they changed it?
Yeah. Anthony Phillips.
That's good.
He is so good. He taught me year 2 coding. I mean, I can't recommend him enough. I bought him a chocolate orange to say thank you because he was so good.
Wow.
So yeah, I can't recommend him enough.
And that is first semester?
That's first semester of first year.
Yeah.
In your...
Oh, someone's just said, did you say that those maths practice exams are monthly? So this is MT0.
You only have to pass one.
They're every 4 weeks.
Once you've passed one of those, you don't have to do any more.
And they're not, they're multiple choice. It's a very casual thing. I was only mentioning it just to fill you in on, it's not a joke.
You'll pass.
Yeah. If you don't, then
I'd
consider why.
I wouldn't say it. Most people don't pass them the first time.
No.
But after like 2 or 3 times, you'll be fine.
It runs until May, doesn't it? So you've got lots of chances.
Yeah, it goes on.
Yeah.
So second semester.
Modern
Modern physics.
Mark Baxendale.
With Mark Baxendale.
We have interesting opinions.
Mark Baxendale is very quiet. Modern physics is a module about special relativity. So Lorentzian mechanics.
Yes.
So essentially, if I have a rocket ship and I go at light speed somewhere not near light speed, somewhere really far away, and then come back, what happens in terms of time dilation or length contraction?
That module is entirely based around the Lorentz transform, but then it does go into a little bit of the wave equation,
when it does touch
Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Just a touch, just a little bit. Yeah. You've also got Our Universe, which is Rich Nelson.
That's really good.
Very good module. If you are the sort of person who does not prefer content and prefers mathematical solutions, you might not enjoy that as much.
There's a lot of proofs in that. I would say.
No, there is some Kepler's laws in that. I find it very interesting, but if you prefer theoretical side, mathematical based sort of stuff,
it's sort of like I don't say prolonged, because that makes it sound bad. It's like a longer, almost like astronomy documentary that covers the big, the small, from the Big Bang to like meteorites and
Richard Nelson has actually done making documentaries.
I was watching one of his documentaries the other day. From the BBC Horizon program. Which I'm sure you could find if you looked him up.
Yes, absolutely. What else? That's only 2. You got.
Is the other optional module on this year? I don't know.
So the other optional module was energy physics.
So energy and the environment. None of us did this module. Our universe tends to be more popular. I don't know that you have this module available because of coronavirus, but I'm sure you'll find out. We did. You have 2 options in first.
Was this? These lessons in secondary or college are usually an hour. Did you find it hard to keep focused in your lectures? No, most of your lectures will be an hour long. There's the occasional 2-hour lecture, but your lecturers will understand. You usually get a 5-minute break. We go across to Sainsbury's across the road, get a snack, something like that.
Yeah, they usually put a 5 to 10 minute break in the middle.
So you won't be.
That's not a problem for us. Although you have to remember, we didn't have online lectures. We were
in person. You'll be in the comfort of your own home.
True.
You can do your lecture from your bed, which that's the dream. Yes, really. Sorry. So there was.
So we were talking about
energy and environment.
So that's a lot about renewable energy. So the physics behind that, and that module is 100% coursework based. So I think you do a presentation and you write like a long sort of essay kind of thing. I didn't do it, so I can't.
That's optional, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, so you either do that or you do Our Universe. Our Universe is exam based.
Yes.
And Engine environment is
coursework-based.
coursework-based.
Depends how you learn and what your interests are.
Exactly.
Again, we can't confirm because we don't know whether they're running that. They have restricted the modules that they're running due to COVID. But optimistically, most of your optional modules will come in year 2. That's usually just to give you an idea of what your tastes might be. If you were on the physics with astrophysics, it is compulsory that you take Algebus. You don't get a choice in that one.
Another module you do in second semester is Mathematical Techniques 2, MT2, with Professor Marcella Bonner. She's an astro. No, she's not. What am I talking about? She's a particle physicist.
Particle physicist
at Atlas. That's what I was trying to say.
Which is very interesting because, like, sometimes, or I don't know how to do with physics lectures, but occasionally we get an email at 1 in the morning from Marcella. I'm not going to be there, guys. Sorry, I'm at CERN. As you do, and it's just like, oh, it's cool, Marcella. Fine, you get back to that important research. We'll learn maths on our own. But
MT2 is heavily you do a lot of integration and differentiation. You do differential equations. You do matrices. I think matrices.
Jacobian matrix.
What else do you do? You two have just done it.
We have just done it. So you do. Second order differential equations, triple integrals. You cover matrices.
You do a bit of matrices.
A little bit. That is the main. Complex
numbers. It's a lot of stuff for those topics.
And that is stuff that you really probably won't have done before. So that is new, and it is mandatory. It is needed. I mean, it's too early for you guys, but we would, say the level of maths required is, you need to know that sort of stuff.
If you want some homework, look up de Moivre's theorem, because that's to do with
that is.
Do you think signing up as a student ambassador will become an impediment on uni work or revision?
We're both actually student ambassadors.
The answer.
Oh, you are as well.
Yeah. Okay. The answer is no. Unfortunately, from what I have been told,
I received an email from
student ambassadors are not. You're not going to be able to become a student ambassador until semester 2 because of coronavirus. Because there's not as much work available.
The problem is there's a spending freeze on, so that the student union is not allowing the departments to spend any more money than they already are. So we've been told that they won't be hiring new ambassadors. There's going to be less work available, so they want to give rather than give everyone one project. From now to Christmas, there's going to be a few more, but they are intending on having a hiring session.
But it didn't get in the way. That's all that it is.
Physics ambassador is you choose your hours.
Yes,
same as student.
A lot of the hours are on weekends. None of them. I mean, some of them are during lecture time, but you don't choose it.
You don't choose it. You choose what you have in the gaps in your timetable. Exactly. It is, and there's other student work on. We should mention there's other student work available to you through the careers department. So they are located in the Oxford. I'm not sure what the situation will be with that for first semester. But if you
check out their website.
If you if you're struggling financially, if you just want to get a job, part-time thing, they'll help you out with that. They'll make sure.
Will PASS be? Yes, PASS is now fully online via Blackboard Collaborate every Wednesday from 1 until 2 o'clock, and you can access that via the PASS page on QM+, which you can access in modules. Maybe you want to pin it. You can pin modules so that they come up on your home screen. You might want to do that. Okay, yeah, we're good. So yeah, that's still available.
That's all good.
How does the workload outside lectures
compare? So homework is that. So
there's less homework.
There's less
homework, but you will.
Yeah.
So foreshadowing.
There's only 3, wasn't there, per module for us? For most of them.
That's right, in year 1.
In
year 1, per module, you only have 3 homeworks. So I reckon that works out. You'll have 1 piece of homework roughly per week.
They're only about like 6 questions as well.
However,
there isn't a lot, but it is.
They can be quite hard.
It is. It does count towards your first year grade.
And
So
first year grade.
usually it's not much. Usually over the
20% is
semester, all the homeworks add up to be 20%.
Yeah.
So each one isn't worth a lot, but it is that the only reason they do that is so that you actually do the homework, because a lot of universities don't have their first year as a graded year. Or it doesn't count towards your final grade, and the homeworks don't matter, and then students just don't do it. So the way that QM did it was count it for a tiny amount, and then that's just so that you care a little bit.
Yeah, and then anything else is up to you, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
How much work you want to put in.
Also, even if you're like somehow don't feel like doing the homework for some reason, you really should, because homework questions are more like are the most likely questions to be in your actual exam.
That's right.
So even when you're revising for your exam, doing your homework again.
Yes,
is
in
the
fact, sometimes the homework questions do turn up in the exam
Yeah,
with like a number change or something like that. So it
Very
really does
it's worth
pay
it.
off. It does.
You might have mentioned this earlier, but I just wanted some confirmation. If COVID wasn't happening, when would the Physics Annual Report have occurred? In reading week of second semester, which is very late February
Very start.
Early
and
March.
very start March.
Yeah.
You give us the
usually.
March 2nd, was it?
So
this year?
ours was
Something
March,
like that.
March this.
Yeah,
I think ours was March the 3rd until 7th or
something like that. Yeah, it was-
Yeah, something
I
like
can't
that.
remember now. But yeah,
Yeah.
we went abroad for 5 days. The trips are usually 5 days, so that when you come back, you have some time to do homework. or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely right.
But enough time to have fun.
Yeah.
On our trips abroad, we don't hold your hand. You are free to. Other
Yeah,
than
the way
main,
that the Ukraine trip worked was the only event that was actually planned by PsiStar was the trip to Chernobyl.
Yeah, that was one
So
day.
we were there for 5 days. The Thursday or the Wednesday was Chernobyl day, and everyone, that was the whole day.
Yeah.
But other than that, we went around the city. We went to go and
Yeah,
see the
we
sites.
split up
went
into different
going
groups
out,
and
and we could go to the bars and drinks and in
We-
the evenings and stuff like that.
we treat you like adults because you're not at school anymore. And much like with university, I was told this in my first week at university, and I think it was the best advice I was given. I was given it by a lecturer, I can't remember. At university, it's up to you. No one cares if you don't work hard. The only person, it's up to you. If you want to get first, work hard. If you don't mind so much and you just want to go for the uni experience, that's up to you. You are now an adult and you decide what you want to do.
And the fact is, your lecturers aren't going to, your teachers probably said this, they're not going to chase you.
They won't
If
chase
you, if you don't put your homework in, they don't care, but they're not going to give you, they're just going to respond exactly how you expect.
So this is your opportunity to do what you want with
Yeah.
your 3 or 4 years at university.
Absolutely,
It's your money at the end of the day.
Make
so-
the most of whatever you want to get out of it.
Should we email Psi using our personal or uni emails? Depends, because we will send out, if you only want to be added to the WhatsApp group, then whatever, but whichever email you want us to email you back on. So
Yeah.
if you're okay with us being in your personal email, do that.
Sure.
If you'd rather that your uni work status,
Really
all
mind,
uni
don't we?
stuff, use your uni email. I'm not sure if yours will all have been generated yet. They should have been, but I know that mine wasn't generated. Mine wasn't generated until like a week into term.
If you want, you could join with both. We don't mind.
Yep.
We'll email both
Yeah.
of you if you want.
Yeah. Again, that email is QM
PsiStar, so that's PSISTAR at ampersand QMUL dot not at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's at gmail.com.
But you told everyone else it was at QML.
I gave you the wrong email earlier. Okay, it's at Gmail.
Do you want to
Look,
take
follow
it?
us on Facebook,
Yeah.
or buy our membership. Please buy our membership, and you'll get links to everything. It's all we do. Try and keep links to everything else on there.
Yeah, cool. I'll put it
Can
in
I put in
chat.
the chat or something? Yes, he will. Please
I
do
know
keep
it is.
any questions coming in. I think we covered all the first year
Yeah, that's
modules,
definitely right.
didn't we? We didn't leave any out.
No.
Yeah, no. So unless you want to hear about second year
Oh,
or
labs, but I don't know if
whatever.
they're running.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
labs.
labs, good point. I'm not sure how those
I
will
don't know
run
if they're
for
running
you.
normal this year.
It's semester B, so possibly.
Oh, is it?
But
For us it is.
labs for so the lab is a coursework-based module. You do several projects, and they all count for a fairly big amount. So most you might do 6 projects, and they'll all be roughly 15-20% of your final grade. They're all fairly basic sort of stuff. It's unfortunate, but second year labs is where it gets more interesting. First year labs is in general sort of just the basics of electronics and mechanics. It's stuff that you've covered already.
So. First year labs are. I'll answer your question soon. First year labs, well, all labs actually. It's not how you do the experiment. It's how you record your results.
Yes.
You'll be given a book, like a writing pad book, and you have to keep it up to date. It's to do with how well you show yourself, how good of a scientist you are. Do you make diagrams of your equipment?
Yeah.
Do you make nice tables? Do you put the date? 'Cause the date. If you don't put the date down in real life and then someone else invents it, you could lose the copyright.
There's a story that they'll tell you about that where there was.
It sounds scary, but it's actually not too bad.
Where somebody lost
tons of money.
They missed out on £1 million invention because they didn't have their lab book properly done. Yeah, but yeah, that's the labs module. It's,
and then and second year labs is better. Like in second year labs, you'll get the opportunity to do Anthony Phillips, what he was talking about, neutron diffraction. You'll get to do that. You get to play X-ray diffraction. You get to mess around with an X-ray diffractometer, and that's.
You get to build a helium neon laser.
You do
stuff like that. You see, this is the stuff you hear about. This is why we do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just loads of
stuff. You can check. You can actually read up on the. You should be able to read up on the module on QM Plus. Just have a little look around on there, and you might be able to find it. Someone said, "What's the latest time you can change course if you find physics isn't for you?" Well, I can't figure out why physics wouldn't be for you, but if it's not, you have to consider how much content can you catch up on. So, if you can move laterally to some extent. So speak to the uni, get in touch. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing it from after more than a month. Otherwise, you're going to have way too much to catch up on. So if you decide in the first 2 weeks and you're like, no, this is just simply not for me. No, I made a mistake. Then yes, email. I'd say Harvey, possibly, or possibly just SPA.
Well, I mean, there's two questions that you've kind of asked. One, if you wanted to move between courses within the School of Physics and Astronomy, i.e. you were like, I want to do astrophysics, that you literally can do that essentially up and, well, even past then. You can do it as long as you've met all of the prerequisite modules for that degree. i.e. if you didn't do our universe, you then wouldn't be able to switch to astrophysics. But like for theoretical physics, all you need to do is MT3, and you can and physical dynamics, and then you can even change in year 3, say. So all you have to do is you have to sign a form.
If it's a different course within the School of Physics and Astronomy, that's really emailed. That's just an email, and they can put the wheels in motion. But if it is to a different science or
if it's
an
outside
engineering
of the school,
or something like that.
If it's outside of the school, I don't know, because I'm not actually aware of anyone ever having done that in my time.
I think a few people did it on our course. A few people switched to an engineering degree or something like that. But
it's harder.
It's harder, but the option's there for you. Just the sooner you figure that out, it will be better, because even now there'll be content which will be going out. There'll be emails, welcome emails, stuff like that. So don't leave it too long. Otherwise, you'd run the risk of having to do the whole of the first year and then rejoining whatever course you want to then.
What is the usual cost of the annual trips? About £330. We missed it.
It varies. It does vary.
It's usually not too much. I think last year was about £350.
I think it was
It's been more and less in the past, probably.
Yeah, it depends what we do, really.
Depends where we go.
What? Thank you.
Depends where we go. Kiev was quite cheap, wasn't it?
Kiev.
That was a 5-day holiday. Remember?
I think
that was,
including like the trip to Kiev.
The hotel, the flights,
to Chernobyl, the hotel, the flights, the taxis.
It really does depend on what we do.
And when we were actually in Kiev, everything was insanely cheap.
Yeah, it was.
It's one of those countries. When you go to Iceland, their economy means that everything is expensive. Like your food would cost the equivalent of £10-15. drinks, anything, fuel, everything is expensive there. Whereas in Kiev, it's the opposite. You go there and a drink is £1 and food is nothing. And yeah,
I think a pint was 50p at one of the pubs.
Yeah, I mean, we were having like 3-course meals for £3.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it really did.
I think in their metro system there was 50p to ride.
30p, wasn't it?
30p to ride. That was it. Yeah.
30p.
The tricky thing is, it's close to Easter when our reading week is, and obviously reading week is when we go abroad because we don't want you missing your studies.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot we can do about timing. So that puts the price up a little bit, but it's. I mean, I defy you to find many places where you can stay for 5 days. I mean, like, think about it. Even if it didn't include flights and all that, that would be like, I mean, just say ish £60 a night, and that's like a hotel cost, say. You know, so
it really does depend. But we're aware that there's a snow sports society that also runs a ski trip, and that is so a ski trip naturally costs sometimes upwards of £1,000. It's an expensive thing. We're aware that you as students don't have that sort of money.
Yeah.
We usually want to get about 30 people on the trip to run it, and so we try and keep it as cost effective as possible, but we'd make you aware of how much it roughly was going to be before it understood. Is there any more questions before we wrap this up? Because I think we're going into, we can't actually use the stream past 4 o'clock, but
The battery's getting low.
my computer is running out. So yeah, if this ends abruptly.
Else?
If not, I think we're going If not,
check out our Instagram.
Oh yes, the Instagram. Please do.
Our
I'll
no, what have I done?
You've only got clicked
cool.
off the main thing. Is the annual ball for all physics students?
It's for anyone.
It is a PsiStar thing, so it is our society ball. But obviously, if you, anyone would be welcome. If you want to bring a guest, if you had friends, it's just the sort of thing like that's why we encourage people to buy the membership. It's just so you can. Yeah.
That's the Instagram handle.
That's the Instagram.
It won't let me put an at. There you go.
So usually, especially with our lectures and stuff like that.
Were you at the meeting?
No, we're still there.
No, we're still there. Look.
Good. Can you hear us?
You can hear us all, can't you? Yeah.
I hope so.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, it looked like it kicked us.
Yeah. So no, with the lectures, we don't want it to be like we're checking on the door sort of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
James. Right,
yeah.
Yeah, we purposefully do that to encourage people to join.
Yeah, please buy. Like I said, the membership is
it's so much.
£5.
It is really good.
It is such good value, and it really helps us. Please buy that.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, there is no IG name for the society.
There is, James.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, James. That's the Instagram. Perfect. Anything else? We hope you've enjoyed the event today as well. This was. This was a pain to organise because we did really want to run this event as a physical thing.
Yeah, we were going
and
to.
then things changed. How important is having a Facebook to uni in general, or to the society, or your social life?
I would say this: it's not that important. I mean, because obviously you can follow. You can.
To uni? No, it's a lot of your societies have one.
The only thing I would say is I have found that a lot of people from outside of London only use Facebook Messenger, whereas a lot of people from London use WhatsApp.
That's true.
So you may find a lot of your friends only use Facebook Messenger. That really annoyed me, being a Londoner. I was like, what do you mean? No one uses Facebook Messenger? But apparently, people outside
it'd be helpful.
London,
It's not like you're going to not be able to cope without Facebook.
No.
By any means.
The mailing list is fine, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So
email us instead.
Yes. Email us at qmsistar.com.
Somebody has
at gmail.
Good.
There we go. Got it.
Nice.
Yeah. If you do have any more questions, email us. All our emails are on the website, or email QMSciStar, or send us a message on Facebook. You can get in touch with us.
Cool.
Yes.
Right, let's wrap up.
Let's wrap it up.
So unless anyone bangs a question in quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Yes, we do hope to see you at events. And look out for David Berman interviewing
Malcolm Perry.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for attending.
And goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you at our events.
Yeah, see you later.
Buy our membership.